The Shanghai Cooperation Organization, with its 9 member states, covering more than 60% of Eurasia, 40% of the world's population, and 30% of global GDP, remains a mystery, to the West at least. Back in 2006, the US Congress held a hearing on the SCO. The then Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asian Affairs, Richard Boucher, recognized the effects it had, but said specifically that we have problems when it takes excursions into more political areas, like telling the states of the region what they can and cannot do with third countries like ourselves. That was to become the standard of how the West viewed the SCO. Throughout the years, Western studies, reports, and political rhetoric are focused on this question. Is the SCO a challenge? That has continued till today without an answer. So, is it? The short answer is no. It's just different.
There are member states within the SCO that have bilateral differences. There are certain challenges that we all face, and when we are not united, we are unable to address and find a common denominator.
The institution is set up in ways that ensure all member states have veto rights, and that's not usual in many Western-led institutions. For example, in the International Monetary Fund, rules state that 85% of votes must concur to pass a motion, but the United States alone holds about 17% of the voting power. That means it could strike down policy decisions simply by itself. The same goes for its role in the World Bank. Even in NATO, where nominally decisions need to be agreed upon by every member, the United States' overwhelming military strength and unique capabilities make every other member dependent on it. We don't see that power imbalance in the SCO. Russia, China, India, and Iran, the 4 major countries, each has its own strength and contribution to the institution. None can claim to be overwhelming or dominating. Decision-making is and has to be based on negotiation and consensus building. That means all the differences have to be respected.
I find the attractiveness of the SCO lies in its principles, which ensure equality among all member states. Therefore, all members are equal.
What the members have chosen is an organization that's strongly Eurasia-centered, whose strength could be directed in response to the needs of the time. The SCO Charter states that the goals of the organization are to strengthen mutual trust, friendship, and good neighborliness between the member states, and to jointly ensure and maintain peace, security, and stability in the region. The region is clearly defined by the borders of the participants. Other than the 9 member states, the 3 observer states, Afghanistan, Belarus, and Mongolia, are all hinterlands of the Eurasia continent. And it makes perfect sense that the SCO is region-focused. It was born out of border negotiations between China, Russia, and 3 Central Asian countries. Then, in its first summit in 2001, it passed the Shanghai Convention against Terrorism, Separatism, and Extremism. It made combating the 3 a fundamental mission of the organization even before the West became overwhelmed by these elements.
SCO was a kind of a defensive mechanism to ensure that these did not radiate and spill across borders.
Today, the region is threatened again by instability. The Ukraine crisis and the Palestine-Israel conflict are destabilizing the peripheries of the member states. Afghanistan, with the Taliban in power, is still sorting out its relationship with the world. The Moscow concert hall attack in March is a bloody reminder of the unending threat of terrorism in the region. Peace and stability make up the core mission of the SCO. But as we are also seeing, the organization is adopting more and more cooperation mechanisms in other areas. The SCO Economic Development Strategy for the period until 2030 was adopted in 2023. It provides a specific plan for deepening cooperation in trade and investment, connectivity, scientific and technological innovation, energy, agriculture, and other areas. To enhance cultural exchange and education, China is providing SCO member states with 1,000 international Chinese language teacher scholarships, offering 3,000 Chinese Bridge summer camp opportunities, and inviting 100 young scientists to China for scientific research exchanges. And with nearly half of the world's population in hand, the SCO members have affirmed their shared determination to tackle climate change and are calling for a balance between reducing carbon emissions and allowing poorer states to catch up with economic developed countries. So this is the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, a Eurasia-centered regional organization with security and stability as its core mission, branching out as a platform for cooperation across more areas. It's not intended to be a challenge to anything in the West. It's just different. And that's it.